Hey, excuse me, would you like to? Do you ever feel like you're getting the door slammed in your face? You're just, here you are, you have your own business, you're, trying to make a living, and you send out an email maybe, and like you just don't hear anything back. Or people straight up say, wow, yeah, I don't know anybody that comes to mind when you tell me about the kind of work that you do. Like I can't think of anybody, or let me get back to you, or like you just aren't getting anywhere, right? And that, I'll just be straight up, that sucks. That feeling, that sucks. So, all right, but we still have to sell our services, don't we? We have to sell our services if we have a business. I don't care what business you have. And there'll be rejection. And you know that. But it still feels awful. Now, when you have a busy brain, when you are neurodivergent, when you have ADHD, you sometimes, or even often, have something called rejection sensitivity. Generally speaking, neurodiverse people are sensitive. Many have even gotten like a diagnosis of HSP, which is highly sensitive person. So I'm going to link an article to this blog post that talks all about when you have ADHD, how to get yourself out of this whole rejection sensitivity thing. Because guys, it's a thing. Before I do that, here's the thing about our brain. Our brain is always trying to create and follow patterns. Our brain is not always thinking about, what would be best for that person? It's not. It simply wants to follow patterns and keep us safe. If the pattern is healthy eating, for example, beautiful. If the pattern is not healthy eating, not beautiful, the brain doesn't care. The brain wants those patterns, all right? So the way to do it is that's our primitive brain back here. Now our executive brain, which neurodivergent people have a different structure to their prefrontal cortex, but yet we can still do it as neurodiverse folks. What we can do is we can outsmart our primitive brain by knowing ahead of time, okay, hang on, I have rejection sensitivity. Because like I've been rejected, I've been told that I'm like not doing it right for basically my whole life. So like I'm kind of used to the whole like, oh God, I'm too much, I'm too loud, I interrupt, I hurt somebody's feelings, I don't take social cues very well, whatever it is, Sound familiar? Keep listening. There are 4 things that this article says we can do about our rejection sensitivity. Believe me, I don't like it either. I got news for you. And I get rejected, and it don't feel nice. I'm just saying, doesn't feel good. So there's 4 R's, and they are recognize. I just got to read my notes here. Recognize, respond, reflect, and reframe. So we're going to start from the beginning. Recognize. So sometimes this is tough too, especially if you've been through any kind of trauma. Like we're like walking around like we're kind of clenched, okay? And so like really recognize what's happening in your body when you get news that you don't want. That's it. Just recognize it. That's 1. 2 is, 2 is respond. Now respond, so if you're really, for example, if you're really like clenched up in your body, what you can do by responding is you can like shake it out a little bit, kind of just do like one of these or stretch a little bit, whatever it is. You do not have to think at this point. In fact, I'd highly recommend against thinking because the clenching is in our body, so the shaking out has to come in our body, okay? So there you go. That's number 2, respond. Now, once your body has kind of gotten a little looser, and this is a real thing, by the way, you can start to do this. Now you can start to think. Now we're in reflect, okay? And you can ask yourself things like, okay, is that true? So maybe we make up a story about our rejection. About we knock on the proverbial door, we get the door slammed in the face type of thing, or no thank you, or no I don't know anybody, or whatever the no is, okay? We can say, our mind might be telling us stories like, this will never work, what was I thinking, I shouldn't waste any more time doing this, that guy doesn't like me, like whatever our story is. And we can ask, is that really true? And we can really dig in beyond the story because probably it isn't true. There's always a grain of truth, but probably full on it isn't true. Last but not least, we can reframe. Now, what that does, a reframe is basically we are reframing our beliefs. So for example, this requires some deeper thinking, meditation, like you really want to be in a calm state of mind, which is of course why we deal with our bodies first, because our brains will never get calm if our bodies are in like nervous system overload, right? So you got to do those earlier ones first. So that last one, that reframe, that's where we, this is where a coach or a therapist or a good walk in the woods or a meditation center, somebody that isn't us can really help us with this. Or we can journal. Sometimes it comes out of journaling, and we can start realizing that when we really question the truths, actually what's below it is a story we changed for ourselves. So, and then we can start to be kinder to ourselves. So when we want to do any behavior change, we ultimately need to do that step 4, that reframe step. So the step of like kind of redefining ourselves, reframing how we are. Like before I owned this house, I considered myself like not a homeowner. So if I consider myself not a homeowner, that means I'm going to self-sabotage when it comes to, trying to buy a house. Now I do own this house, but I had to go through a thing where I'm like, I'm a homeowner. I'm going to earn the money consistently. That will allow me to get a mortgage. That will allow me to now, buy a house. And I have to be okay with all the maintenance and upkeep and privilege of changing up, water tanks and all the things that, but in my business, I have to be bold. I have to say, hey, I'd love to shake up your thinking. I'd love to shake up your thinking because I know there's more to your story and I see potential in you that you don't possibly see. And I would like to invite you to a powerful 5 questions, Libra birthday gift, say for example. And that takes a lot of boldness on my side, because the more I give, the better I get at what I do. The more powerfully I serve people, the more likely that they're going to tell their friends. And when I say, hey, do you know anybody that could really use this? They're not going to be pin drop, I don't know anybody. They're going to be like, wow, that was the most powerful conversation I've ever had. This is totally life-changing. Actually, yes, I do know somebody, my sister, my cousin, my best friend, me. And that's the way you start to build that boldness. And as long as I'm on that subject, we're almost at the end of October. So your chances for getting the Libra birthday gift, the 5 powerful questions that'll blow your mind, shake up your thinking, and literally blow your world wide open. So if you don't want any change or any you don't want to think about things differently, do not sign up for this. Like, don't. Because if you want to stay the same, bad idea. But if you want to really challenge yourself in ways that you never dreamed possible, if you want to think about, okay, how do I dream bigger and get that dream in motion, even if I truly believe that it could never happen, but there's a little whisper saying, well, maybe it could. That's for you. So 4 ways to get out of that rejection sensitivity. That was the topic here. Sign up for your Libra call, read the article. And if you're watching this on video, comment below, like, what are you going to do differently in the next couple of days to be more bold, to be more brave, to risk the no. See you soon.